kind of talking to. Won't use the audio for it. And on that note, welcome back, you guys, to Maniacs React. So I'm here with Ryan, and we have a guest today, Robert, in the Maniacs studio.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
man. Thanks for coming over. So we tell everybody, that we have jobs that we do full time, and this is kind of our fun thing that we play with. Is this something that you'd be willing to disclose what you do for work?
So believe it or not, I'm a police officer. So for surrounding city. So and I have a lot of fun doing that. But before that, I was a master mechanic for many years.
Okay.
And I still do it now.
So car guy through and through.
There's no doubt. Ever since I was 9, got hooked.
Nice.
So
what hooked you at 9?
I used to go over to my cousin's house and build Mustangs, Comets, drag cars, monster trucks. Like they had everything. So,
I like it.
What are you working on now?
1969 Nova.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, LS3, 6L80E, 4 9-inch speed tech, everything.
Nice. It'd be a fun car.
Oh yeah, it's fun now. Just no windows in it. So.
Pretty rad. Ryan, what are you working on nowadays?
I still got to
62 Mercury Monterey.
That, and I'm still got to sand my daughter's 1985 van again. She's been very patient with me, thankfully, but I feel the day coming when she's not going to be so patient. So
I don't know how to sand, so
yeah, you're off the hook.
Nobody knows how to sand.
All right, well, here we are. So this is our segment where we pull up some cars from our Instagram page, and we do a little critiquing, a little commenting on them. So this is the Maniacs React, and we're going to have 3 cars for you guys. So we have 2 cars and then a bonus car is how we run this thing, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think? Are you guys ready for the first car?
I'm ready.
It's actually a truck, so I'm going to do a little teaser as we get ready to drop this thing. So it does really cool smoky burnouts.
I like smoky burnouts.
Yeah.
I'm in.
As long as they're in a controlled environment.
That's correct, yeah.
On a track.
Of course. Don't take over our streets and do this.
No takeovers, definitely not, right? So
like
you'll
that.
see this is actually in a controlled environment. So why don't we drop that on there for him, Ryan?
Yeah, heck yeah.
So this thing is awesome, you guys. There it is. It's a 41 GMC. And this guy built it in his garage.
Nice.
I like it.
True Maniac fashion. I love it.
Isn't it cool, man? So it's ratty, but it means business.
Got some nice big king coilovers on it.
Long arm suspension on that thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he's smoking those tires. Real good, nice mud tires. Some pretty.
Is this one the mid-engine one?
No, this is
the front engine.
This is the front engine. Yeah, so this is a super budget build. The guy taught himself how to do pretty much everything. It's a V8. I don't know what it started out. Probably just a junkyard V8 or something. If I remember correctly, he pulled it from something
Nothing
and put it in. Actually, it's supercharged though. It's an old screw type supercharger. I don't remember the brand, but he kind of pieced it together, man. It puts out some pretty serious power.
Yeah. Obviously.
The motor, it's pretty funny. I don't know if we'll see another clip, but he's got it kind of caged, I think the only piece of the frame that's still stock is just under the doors, the length of the doors.
Yeah.
And everything else has been kind of fabricated from there. But to get his engine in, he has to have it almost vertical like this to get it in there and get it all jimmied in, to fit in between the cage and everything. So
make it fit somehow.
It catches some air there. It looks like it lands pretty smooth. Even landed on the flat.
I think he's running King shocks.
Those Kings, yeah.
Yep.
Some King coilovers on it.
What size wheel is he running on?
Man,
that
you know what? I don't know.
Pretty hefty.
35s probably, I'm guessing. That's a pretty good. Maybe 37s.
Yeah, he's destroying those.
Yeah.
I think they're probably 37s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you did an interview with him at a quarantine cruise, right? Mm-hmm. So you can see more details and more information about this truck on if you go back to some of our past episodes.
Yeah, it's one of the interview episodes. Playlist is called Story Time. and you can see all the interviews that we've done there, and that is one that we did with this guy.
Yeah, but we didn't see this cool stuff before you talked to him.
No. I've been reposting his stuff for a while though on our Instagram page, and I always liked it. You know, I mean, I don't know, I'm just drawn to rat rods, number one, right? Yeah. And then pre-runners are just super cool. I'd done some pre-runners, you know, long time ago, 20 plus years ago. I just liked the two-wheel drive lifted, you know, kind of trophy truck style. Yeah. And then this just kind of brings both of those styles together, you know. Right.
Yeah, he's definitely got to set up the jump. He's done some work to this thing.
Yeah, it looks like it's tuned well, you know, suspension wise. So it's not just for looks. A lot of times, you know, you get these guys that build these things and then can't really do anything.
I'm sure he drives it to work. I would.
Yeah, he actually does. I think drive it, you know, quite a bit. So
you need some lights on the roof to drive this for work, though.
Lights not required. So.
Yeah, so man, I like the patina on it a lot. I think it's cool. He sprayed it that drab, you know, olive drab, and then he sanded through here and there, and of course it's got a bunch of, you know, natural blemishes from 41.
Sure.
That are on it.
Yeah,
what's your favorite thing on this one, Robert?
Oh, I gotta say that rear suspension setup is pretty sweet with the remote reservoirs and everything like that. Mm-hmm. The way it lands and it handles those bumps it's just cool. So I like the whole thing really. Mm-hmm. There's nothing about that thing I wouldn't like. I'll take it home right now. Put it
so. I like all the tube work on it. The tube control arms and the kind of the tube subframes and the front and the back, and kind of that buggy look to the front of it being the narrow front end and just leaving the tires
sticking out like
by themselves. That's
fun fact. So the front control arm setup, it's off the shelf, so it's for a Ford Ranger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's a nice setup. So that's already been obviously tried and true.
Ford onto his GMC.
Yeah,
oh,
you know,
it works.
It happens. It usually goes the other way. Yeah. It usually happens the other way.
That's true rat rod style, though, right? It's just keep mixing parts from all different vehicles.
And then the funny thing, you can't see it in these videos, but he's got some racing seats in it, and they're like the old school, like fiberglass, like buggy seats with the vinyl covers on them.
Okay.
And they're purple. He's like, got them. I just kept them, just like that.
I like it.
So super cool. So you can find this guy on Instagram at Shredanarowich. It would be SHREDANAROWICH. So check it out there because you'll see more of it.
Yeah, for sure. Robert, you're a guest, so we have a kind of a 3-tier rating system for these guys. We got crankers. If you don't really like it, it can't even start. You're just. And then we got
just not doing it for me.
Just not doing it for you.
Yeah.
Then we got cruisers. If it's something is like, yeah, I like that. I'd cruise that around. Not something I'm like just really in love with, but something that'd be pretty cool as cruiser. You know, just mid RPM, just cruising it. And then if it's something you really like, that's on the limiter. Just wop, 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 wop.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If you're gonna go on the limiter, you gotta do on the limiter. We want to hear your on the limiter interpretation.
Okay, so obviously this thing's not just wop 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 wop. It's wop, and it's just going. This thing's pretty badass. I would drive this thing every day.
Yep.
So if I had it, so yeah, I like this thing. It's getting a 3 for me. So
nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
And he's put a lot of hard work into it.
Oh yeah,
he has, and he's a super cool kid. Man, I say kid because we're getting a little bit older over here. You know, I don't know where you land on that, but he's a younger guy.
Same age as me.
Yeah, there you go. So the guy's super cool, man. So I'm definitely giving him on the limiter.
Yeah, I'm all the way up there as well. This thing is super, super cool.
Well, that's awesome.
I'd love to drive it.
Oh, yeah, especially like that. I'd love to drive it like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think neighborhood.
That'd be cool. You know the HOA board member for the neighborhood, right?
I'd go right by his house.
In his cul-de-sac. Just do it right in his cul-de-sac. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, funny story there. Robert's actually my neighbor. He lives like 4 houses down. And one of the first times I meet him, he's pulling in because he does, what do you call it? You ride a motorcycle for work.
I do, yes.
Motor pool?
Motor cop.
Motor cop.
Motor
It's a
cop.
motor. It's a motor position, yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I obviously a bike
Which
guy
is like
as
the
well.
ultimate coolness right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Props there.
Yeah, and
You see the motor cop coming, you're like, oh man.
Everybody fears the motor cop.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm like,
I don't know what it is either. I didn't fear you. It drew me
Yeah.
to you. I pulled up on my bike. I think you had your Ducati or
I
something
did.
you had at the
I had
time
both
sitting
bikes
out.
yeah.
And I pull up and introduce myself, and we're hanging out for a little bit. And he's like, well, if I'm ever following you down the road on the way home, you better not slow down. You better keep your speed up so I don't have to pass you.
Don't make me pass you. This is the county, man. Go.
It's out of my jurisdiction.
I didn't see anything. Come on.
Shoot. All right, well, I think it's time for our sponsor of this video,
You got
right?
it lined up?
I do have it lined up. I have it lined up right here.
That is straight
Got it
across.
lined up right here.
Straight across.
Hostile Wheels, you guys. These guys are super cool. They helped us on our 49 Ford body swap BMW project. Not only did they help us, but they actually designed the wheel just for us called the Hostile Maniac. And then they ended up producing it as a cast version that you can buy off of this website right here, hostilewheels.com. So super cool. Obviously, they're made for trucks because we needed the super big wide lip on ours, because we wanted to run those 14-inch wheels on the back, 12s on the front. So we had to go to a truck setup. So these guys are the kings when it comes to the big trucks, but they do other things, Ryan. What are those things, man?
Other things. They've got forged wheels and cast wheels. They've got dually wheels, and they also have UTV wheels, which we may be
talking to them about something
be
there.
talking to them about an upcoming project.
You need to get those van wheels for that van.
Yeah, that patina van that he's got.
Yeah. They've got desert wheels, and they've a new line. When we were talking to them at SEMA this year, they've started making van wheels. So for all you overlanders out there, they've got nice wheels for your vans. You notice they're not running 20 and 24-inch wheels for your van, but 16s and 17s.
That would look pretty funny on the van.
Yeah. But you go to the website.
I think you can fit them.
You can absolutely fit anything you want
Anything
to.
you want.
They do have a lift.
Sawzall makes it all.
They also on their website.
This is a guy after my own heart right here. Just give me a sawzall, a MIG welder, and a grinder. It's like, that's it. We can do anything with those three tools.
I got a welder and a sawzall. Let's make it fit.
They got a fitment guide though. You can put your car on here, or your truck rather, truck or UTV, and they'll show you what wheels they have that'll
Super
fit
cool.
it. That fitment guide and configurator to help you tell you what size will fit. They've got a gallery, a whole bunch of cool trucks and stuff to look at, videos, and then accessories as well. They've got all kinds of cool Hostile Wheels
Like
merch you can buy.
lug nuts and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
GMC is
super
pretty
cool. So hostilewheels.com is where you find these guys. Definitely check them out. And they're also on Instagram as well. I think it's called Hostile Wheels on Instagram.
Very nice.
Right on. Do we have another car?
We do have another car. Let me cue that up for you.
Are you going to give the teaser on this one?
I can do that, yeah. So this one has some military roots.
Okay. I can see that.
They even went back to
I can see a little
military.
bit of that right there.
They even went back to some military colors. But this is not your average military vehicle. Most of your military vehicles only have 4 tires, not.
And they're not this low.
It also doesn't have an intake scoop for the supercharger.
Yeah.
Well, this has got to be one of the wildest Hummers, I'd say.
Yeah, this thing is really crazy. Danton Arts Customs USA is their Instagram page. You can kind of see it on different parts of the truck. They've got some stickers, so you can go check out their stuff. And it does appear to be 4-wheel drive. We spent some time going over this, and it does appear that all 4 of those rear wheels are driven.
Yeah, not the front, but that's fine. So 4 rear, so it looks like the drive shaft goes through the first diff and then goes to the back, much like the setup that we featured a little while back on the DeBerdy's C10 Slayer truck.
Yeah,
that was cool, man. That was like a what gen you think that? What was it year wise?
It was a 60 something.
60 something or early 70,
60
maybe
something.
60 something Chevy truck, slammed, 6 wheels, supercharged, pretty wild.
But this one,
I think they did a great job on this. I mean, they had to do a lot of aluminum work just to make those rear doors the way they are. And I've worked on Humvees before, and this is pretty legit. This is pretty nice.
Got the cantilever suspension in the back.
They're tight, but I mean, other than that, it's a basic Chevy, truck setup. So the Chevy engine and stuff like that. So the non-diesel or the diesel with the non-turbo are super slow. This one I don't feel is that going to.
I don't think this one's too slow, but this one's not running a Chevy either.
That Hemi motor is going to make it go.
So this is powered by a Hemi V8.
Supercharged.
Is it?
Supercharged. It's right there. See it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's the lid right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They did it right.
Yeah.
They did it
pretty cool. So this guy, he's actually originally out of France. So I was following this guy, Denton Arts Customs, for years now on our Instagram page, and I'd be reposting some of his rat rods. He's done some really iconic rat rods. They're like, people probably would know what they are. He's got a couple of 911 Porsches that were all rat rodded out, wheels sticking out. Really good work. I mean, really good work. And some very traditional rat rods, but there's always like a twist to them. They're really cool. And so I think this is one of his creations, and looks like now he's got a U.S. kind of headquarters as well. That's why it's the Denton Arts Customs USA is what the Instagram page is that we pulled this from. And it appears that they did this in some kind of collaboration with Gas Monkey Garage.
Yeah, I see the big banner back there.
Yeah, and it's been tagged in a couple of the posts. So, but I think this was at SEMA last year, and we didn't really see it. You can't walk the whole show. So
right.
But I think this was debuted at SEMA this past year or this year.
I like that it's chopped, because that's really cool. You don't see chopped Hummers every day, and it looks really neat. It just helps with
looks neat.
Kind of neat.
He said neat.
He said neat. Okay.
It kind of helps with that squatty look. They've already kind of got kind of a smaller window, but then you take and chop it, it gets smaller. But this view right here is what I really like.
Oh yeah.
It looks like you took a truck and you put this giant import tuner front splitter thing
right,
on the bottom
with
the big scoops on the side in front of the tires. It's kind of cartoony, but to me it really works. I think it's a really neat addition.
Neat. It's neat.
I did that. That's my
two times neat. Let's see if we get another neat out of him
know,
before this night's over.
That's how I like my whiskey.
The really neat thing about this is, the back end. This is all custom.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all custom stuff right here. So when they chopped this thing up, they actually had to elongate that frame, which they did because your Hummer's not that long.
Right. Right.
So they actually built all that onto there. And then who knows what suspension they're using underneath that, but
well, I'm willing to bet that there's probably not an inch left over of the Hummer frame underneath this thing. Actually, I think that's probably a pretty full custom frame.
There's another video from earlier in the build.
There's going to be haters, because the thing is just so out there. It's just so out there with the different styles, like you mentioned. It's got the JDM, front crazy arrow. It's chopped wide. Mid-engine, 6 wheels, like it just goes on and on, just crazier and crazier, and it's a Hummer to start with.
No longer made for the dirt.
No longer made for the dirt, so they're gonna be like the off-road guys are like, what a waste. But it's 8 foot wide. That thing is so cool, just the way that it turned out.
And they obviously started with military parts. I mean,
it looks like that actual parts
straight off the military Hummer.
Yeah, looks like they chopped the frame of the window right there.
Still has the lift lug sticking out of the hood.
Look at that motor just sitting there. Great job. And these bodies are all aluminum, so they had to do a lot of aluminum work on that just to get that going. So
the imagination is super cool. All the lines and how the whole thing kind of flows together, and it's purpose built for the show and whatever fun stuff like.
It looks like it's going to have some go.
Hopefully it's going to spin all 4 of those back tires one day and lay down some nice quad track.
And from the looks of this one, this is a more recent video. It looks like it's going. It's all up and running. I didn't see any videos of it going, but
I've seen a video running. I mean, like idling. So I think it moved into SEMA on its own power. And
okay,
I'm sure the turning radius is horrible.
who needs turning
Yeah,
radius
you know.
anyway? You know.
But other than that, yeah, it's a pretty cool truck.
It's got like a 4x8 sheet of aluminum just for the wing.
And if you look at that wing, they actually put some detail into that. So it's got some layers in there, and it looks like it's put together really, really well.
Yeah, so the suspension, check out the cantilever style coilovers on the rear. You know, I think that's a nice touch.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a really nice touch.
I like those TIS wheels on it too. Those things are pretty cool, man. It's got kind of that modern look that fits but doesn't fit with it. It's a good eye catcher as well.
Well, you know what's trippy about it is it looks like it has lettering on the tire, but it's actually the rim. That's still part of the rim, but it looks like, you know, like when you caught that front wheel there.
Yeah.
It looked like it's got lettering on the tire, but it's actually the rim's got this, you know, writing, you know, ball groove machined into the lip of the rim.
Yeah.
It's a good
big old
look.
wheels on
It's a
it,
good
that's
look.
for sure.
We are a little partial though, because that's kind of what the 49's wheels look like.
I think he'd probably get a ticket running around here for not having mud flaps.
Oh no, I can pull him over just to talk to him.
Pull over.
No, I've told many people, like, I need to see your car. They're like, okay. They talk to me all day long. So the only problem I see with that, you know, I wonder if it has air suspension to lift that up.
You know, I was just thinking
that on the road,
at least on the
because
front, right?
you're gonna hit stuff,
Yeah.
and
It's got to have
it,
air
hopefully
ride.
that's made out of not fiberglass, but
The
it's
front.
really neat.
It is pretty neat.
So
It is pretty neat. So actually, speaking of the pulling over, you know, for just to talk to them. So early days of getting the 49 out on the road, I didn't have my harnesses in there yet or anything. You know, it was just kind of all together, and I took it over just went down the street with it. I swear I make a left turn, and it's local PD.
Oh yeah.
Flips to you, and I was like, crap! I know he's coming after
They're
me.
like,
You know?
I gotta see this car.
So I pull into the shopping center parking lot. He pulls in behind, no lights on, you know, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good so far. But I figured as soon as I like park, you know, the lights come on and pull behind me, you know. And so I back into my stall. He backs in like 3 stalls over from me. And I get out, and he just gets out his all. Hey man, I just want to see this thing. I was like, oh, thank you. but I was sketching. I was like,
being on a motorcycle, I just literally will roll up to the door and be like, I need to see your car.
Pull over, like,
okay. And they pull over and we talk. I just did it to a guy the other day, so
I
was like, I need to see this. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
I
I think we got to rate this thing.
Yeah.
I think we go from this side this way.
side.
How about that?
I'm on the limiter. Completely, utterly on the limiter. This thing is super, super cool. I didn't say neat.
you didn't. You did a good job.
I really, really like this. So much awesome work went into it. All the nice little details.
How can you not be on the limiter on this one? I mean, even if you're not liking the style, you gotta just go, wow. I mean, just to imagine the man hours in this thing.
Oh my word! Yeah.
Right? So, and again, ingenuity. I mean, everything just tops it. You know, it's on the limiter for me, 100%.
Same here. I mean, I would drive it. Hopefully, it'll turn really well.
Robert didn't hesitate. He didn't hesitate a second.
I would drive that in a heartbeat. That's definitely a limiter. That Hemi helps it just a little bit more.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, Robert, so this is part of the show, if you will, where we actually drop the bonus car. The bonus car is usually something a little more fun, a little more outside the box, not necessarily that we. So the first 2 cars, we can get behind it. Yeah,
We have.
We have had some. We had the coolest Miata actually a couple of shows ago, but so normally
big body here.
Normally we like the first 2 cars we can get behind them, you know, pretty much guaranteed.
All right.
The third car, it's kind of a wild card a little bit.
Controversial. That's the word we word for the third car.
Right.
Controversial. And the last few episodes we've been discussing different car cultures. We've done stance. We did the Carolina squat. We did
a lot of trucks are running that way.
His favorite. It's Ryan's
drives me
favorite.
That's probably my worst.
I don't understand it.
That's got to be my least favorite fad ever. We've done some Trars, and we did a couple other cars. We did Bosozoku, which is fun to say. Crazy Japanese cars. So this is another culture, similar to the lowrider, kind of lowrider related, I'll say.
Boom, there it is.
But some giant wheels referred
This
to
is
as
referred to as the donk, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Do they do like briefings with you guys?
Oh, no.
Like, all right, this is stance
You gotta
vehicles.
remember,
You got to look
half-
out for this. These are Carolina Squat. Headlights are in the sky.
You gotta remember, most people that are police officers know nothing about cars.
Yeah.
So they just see car.
Yeah,
and
car.
That's it.
Shiny.
So, yeah.
So yeah, so this is. I think it's an offshoot of the lowrider culture. You know,
Yeah.
I think it kind of originated. I would say, wouldn't you think? Wouldn't you say
Well,
that it
what
kind of
they
rolled
did
out
was,
of
instead
somewhere
of
in
running
that?
those 13s that they
Mhm.
normally would run, they run the bigger wheels on these donks, and
Mhm.
you know, looking at this vehicle, not my taste, obviously, but I mean, the paint's good. It's there for show. Other than that, I'm not a big fan. I'm just not a big fan. It's
Yeah.
just my taste.
Right.
I would
not that.
rather go for the lowrider style. So instead of lifting it for giant tires, I'd rather slam it and put some 13s on it or something.
Now you know what though.
And
So
hydraulics.
so what happened with this? So if you kind of follow the evolution of this, if you will, you know, you went from the small wheels, like you said.
Yep.
Then they started to put these massive. You know, first it was 20s and 22s and
Yeah,
26s.
they got lift kits on them to 50.
They
Yes,
literally
they
would
do.
run a 6-inch lift kit on a cutlass, you know, to get these
Mhm.
wheels are, and that was kind of like the original dunk, you know. I think this is actually slammed though. Like this is cut up, like this is mini tubbed
Yeah.
to get it
It's
back,
gonna have to be to
back
get that wheel in
to
that
somewhat
rear.
of a. It's not like sky high,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
So
right.
it's got a. It's
I just want to see what kind of junk is in the trunk. You know what I'm saying? Pop the trunk. Let me see what's in there. You know, see how big that
got
tub actually
got
is.
some, yeah. It's
So-
got some pumps in there and some batteries in there probably
Yeah.
still.
Look
you
at that
know, with
steering
this.
wheel. The steering wheel
Matches
matches the
the-
wheels.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, that paint job is money.
I love the paint job.
That's
I
money,
really
right?
do.
And he has it out. It's on the
I'm
street.
gonna
He
give
drives
this
it.
one a nice. I mean,
Nice. It's neat. It's neat.
It's neat and nice.
It's neatly
yeah.
done. Like the gold, and it's got some good contrast.
I'm not a big gold fan. I
Yeah.
just never been.
It's
either,
coming
so I
back
don't know.
though. It's coming
It
back.
must
You know,
be, 'cause-
your wife's gonna want the kitchen hardware done
yeah.
in gold pretty
No.
soon. 'Cause it's kind of making its way back.
Is it gold or
It's
bronze?
like a
I'll take the
satin
bronze, not the
gold.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No,
So, well, in my
I
opinion,
do love the paint on this though. That is a neat. I said it again.
You're
That is
not
a
gonna-
really-
you're
that is
not
a
gonna
really-
get away from that word.
That is a really cool
oh
color.
man,
So, being a convertible, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the wheels, but I've never been that kind of wheel guy, nor am I the 13-inch kind of wheel guy. Not a huge fan of the gold, but if you had that vehicle in the original kind of setup, I'm not saying the original wheels, but something close to it, I think I would like that car a lot more.
like more of a classic
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
More of a
You should-
restored.
Oh, yeah.
It is a pretty unique car though, because it's a convertible. Looks like a
It is.
factory convertible. Really nice interior. I mean, the execution is obviously you got to hand it to them. It's done
Mhm.
right. It's done.
It,
right.
Yeah.
it is.
I think it's probably safe to say that it's not any of our styles. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it is not my style.
But the
It
door
is
gaps
cool.
are in line, everything.
Yeah,
is-
for sure.
Bodywork's done right. So, and
Yeah.
I believe this is an Impala.
Yeah, we were trying to
So,
figure it out.
If you look on the B pillar where the B pillar
Mhm.
would normally be, it shows Impala there,
Oh,
and they're running an LS. So you
Yeah,
can
I
it
see
on
the
fender.
emblem, yeah.
Yeah, LSX.
So-
yeah.
But
Mhm.
I mean, it would I
Mm.
drive it? Probably. You know, I'd probably change the wheels out, but
Pretty cool, right? I'm sure to cruise it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it would get some good looks. All right, so we're gonna start in the center this time, John. Where are you
Yeah.
sitting with this guy?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to give it a cruiser because even though it's not our style, it's a ton of work done to it and it's done right, you know, and
Yeah.
it's done right for what it is. I can't give it a on the limiter just because it's not my style and this is our show and we rate them to what we like,
Right.
you know? So I'm gonna be a cranker, but
thought you said a cruiser.
a cruiser.
Cruiser. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah. How about you, Robert? Where you
oh,
sitting
this
on
car is neat. You know, everything from the gauges. Obviously, they've done. You know, it looks like Dakota Digital's in there, and they've done everything right. I can't see what kind of brakes and stuff like that. See if this thing will actually stop with the momentum that it has. However, you know, if they're running an LS in there and everything looks nice, not my style. So
Yeah.
I would probably I would probably give it a 2.
Yeah, give it a cruiser.
For all intents and purposes, it should be on the limiter because it is done that well.
Yes, agree. It's
But-
just not our style. I'm a cruiser as well. I would happily drive this car. I'd probably swap the wheels. The rest of it, I could definitely live with. I mean, like you said, they did a lot of work. They louvered the trunk. Just really neat car.
I think
overall.
that's stock, and I was trying to wreck my brain why it would be getting the
No.
cooling there, but
That
I
is-
have seen that
the
before.
louvers and
That
the
is
trunk.
that is not stock.
You don't think that's
I'll
stock?
tell you that. No.
I mean, there's nothing back
there's
there
no reason
that.
for
right.
air to flow back there.
But there's some Eldorados like that have a vent on the back like that, and it's still front engine. Nothing to cool back there.
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I've never seen.
I think like the
I've never
boat
seen
tail
factory.
Eldorado. I think it's got vents back there,
I think it does.
and it's
The
like
boat tail,
factory looking.
yeah.
Those are not like punched louvers. You know,
They don't
that's like
look
a
bad.
factory looking. You know.
It doesn't look bad to me. I would keep it there. But
Well, you guys can leave a
At
comment
least-
and teach us about that.
Yeah.
You know,
at
school us
least
on the
bring
fact
it to
if
the
it's
front, maybe somewhere. I
Yeah,
don't know.
if that's
I would
factory
throw
or
it
not.
down
It'd be
a
kind of
little
good to know.
That would.
So definitely comment and leave us
Interior
that.
looks great. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
I really like it. I really do. Overall, I like the car a lot. Again, like we said, just kind of style wise, not really ours, but I would definitely drive this.
I mean, it looks like probably an early 70s. That's a 73, I think, actually. So
Yeah.
it's a cool big boat cruiser car. You know, I mean, it definitely has a nice feel to it, I'm sure.
it's not a Lincoln Continental. That's what I like. But you know, it works.
Suicide doors. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. That's all we have for today.
That's
So
a
if you
wrap.
guys stuck it out this far, we've been telling you to leave us a comment, and the first one that leaves a comment on YouTube, we will get you a sticker pack and we'll send it out to you. So please do that, and also comment on these cars. Let us know what you think of the first, second, third car, what your scoring would be on it, and then give us some ideas on what you're looking for maybe for some future episodes.
Yeah, we will reply to your comments too. I'd be happy to chat with you.
Yeah, that's right. And so make sure you guys check out our other videos out there with the interviews that we mentioned earlier, with the builds, with the 49 Ford, the 62 Mercury, and some other things coming up in the future.
Yeah.
So, hey man, thanks so much for
Thanks for inviting me.
hanging out. That was really cool. Cool
Yeah,
dude.
For sure. Thanks for coming, man.
No problem.
And thank you guys for watching. God bless you, and we'll see you in another one.
Later.